Not to mention having to do your laundry.
Yeah.
Without power. They put the wood in this tray here?
No, you build the fire in there.
Is that a coffee grinder back there?
Yes, yes.
They used to put it in glass jars. How long would that stay good? Oh, it just slides shut. The pulley system helps it to kind of shut slowly.
Yes.
Well, today I'm down on a ranch in southern Colorado that was established in the 1890s. And Katie was kind enough to give me a tour of all the stuff that she's collected from back in the homesteading years. And we were discussing how life was, how they use these tools, and how different things are today. This is Charlie and Katie. So what do you guys do then? You guys raise some cattle here?
No, we don't. We're not in the cattle business. We're more in the hay business. So we board horses and pasture cows occasionally, but we don't own cows. And we sell, raise and sell horse hay and board horses here.
So what is this? What is this thing here you've put together?
It's a root cellar.
This is an old root cellar. Do you still use it? A newer root cellar.
Well, we built it about, I don't know, 25 years ago.
And these are just old implements you've gotten off of here, or just collected?
Different places.
So this is part of an old stove.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before when, back not that long ago, before power was installed, you had to cook everything on a wood-powered stove. So you had to, or coal. So you had to heat it up with wood inside here in the lower part. Is this just a pantry part here, kind of?
That's the top part of the stove. Yeah, kind of a warming.
That's a warming oven. Okay. And then there would have been an oven. The stove part down here had these plates on it. Do you have one?
To see our outdoor
I'd love to see it.
Our summer kitchen.
Absolutely. So this is your field here, and then behind it.
And we go way back into the trees. We go back into the trees about a mile.
Oh, okay.
And so we have
kind of
built,
back to that steeper stuff?
Yeah. And we have built kind of small little road trails, and the deer and elk use those a lot.
Oh, yeah.
We have big groups here in the summertime. We've got 2 weddings coming up this summer here.
Oh, do so you do some stuff like that to kind of supplement income a little bit?
No, it's just for
fun.
Fun, yeah.
How old is this refrigerator here?
I think it's a Frigidaire, maybe the 20s or 30s.
Wow.
And
Does it still work?
Oh yeah, we use it. We unplug it in the winter.
They don't make them like they used to, because now they're, you buy a refrigerator it's like 10 years and it doesn't work anymore. But this sucker is built to work.
Yes.
The old refrigerator. And what's
With
this
the
part? This
freezer. Oh, it's not going to open. It's frozen.
Oh, that's the freezer part, or
that's
for
the
ice?
Freezer. Yes.
Well, that's the freezer part. Okay.
Yeah, for ice cubes or whatever, ice cream.
Wow. So they didn't have much room for the freezer part back then.
No. There we go.
That is really cool though.
Yeah. And then
this is
this is gas on this side, and then this is the wood side over here on this side.
Okay, so they put the wood in this tray here?
No, you build the fire in there.
Oh, you build the fire in there.
There's like some critter got in there.
Gotcha. And then that heats these 2 burners, right?
Yeah. And then there's 2 burners here.
So you build a fire in there, and that
heats this.
That heats these. Now that's preheating would take a lot longer.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot longer.
You had to heat this up.
Yeah.
Get some coals in there.
And then I guess this is the ash bucket.
Oh, that's where the ashes go. Okay.
Yeah.
They drop down to there.
Yeah, they go down in there. And then this side is propane. And there's the oven. It's
a propane oven?
Yes.
That's cool.
There.
Keeping traditions alive, huh?
Yeah. There. See if it'll come on. There it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I cook down here in the summertime. Yeah. That's not. Some of this stuff was here on. We bought this place from the original Homestead family.
Oh, okay.
And they homesteaded this ranch in 1896. And we bought it in 1994. 2 more years, that would have been a centennial farm.
That's cool. There's a lot of situations where people think of something as they romanticize it.
Yes.
They do that with wolves. They do it with homesteading, without power, living off the grid, and it's unique. But the amount of work that it took to run something like this just to cook something, not to mention having to do your laundry.
Yeah.
Without power.
Right.
The amount of work was astronomically more. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to do it. Most people wouldn't last 30 days living completely off the grid because it gets old after a while.
Yeah.
Camping, for a week, that's fine. But
that's, yeah. And then this is an old Hoosier. I'm sorry, this is where winterized.
Oh, no problem. You got it all put away for winter, yeah. But
so
what's this now?
This is an old Hoosier. This is where you put the flour. Whoops. Oh. The flour went in there, and then this is the sifter. That's sifter to sift flour.
Just in case it had some bugs in it or something?
Yeah, to make it finer. And then this is the roll top part. And for storage.
That is cool. Now, how old is this thing?
Oh, it's probably, around 100 years.
Cool.
Campfire
marshmallows.
Yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
The original food.
Yes. We started building this. Charlie took this old sink out of an old house in Durango. And he said, this is pretty cool. I said, we had one of those when I was a kid in our summer kitchen. Our outdoor kitchen. Uh-huh. And that's where we did our canning, was out there. Because my dad was a produce farmer, and we grew a lot of vegetables, and we canned vegetables, and we sold a lot of vegetables.
A lot of vegetables?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sink's pretty old.
Yeah, so that sink, that probably came out of a 100-year-old house.
We used to can all the time.
Yes.
To preserve stuff, because if you didn't have a fridge, you had to keep things good for a long time. How long does stuff stay if you can it? Meaning you put it in jars. Because now you can buy cans, but that's not quite the same thing. They used to put it in glass jars. And then they would seal them by cooking them. Right? Mm-hmm. How long would that stay good?
Oh, stays good for a very, very long time. Several years.
Several years.
Yeah.
So my mother was sent downstairs one time to get something out of their canning room.
Yes.
Because they had shelves of jars. Well, she didn't realize that one of the jars was holding up 2 of the shelves. Oh. So she pulled out the one that was holding it and just knocked off 2 whole shelves of stuff. Oh. And if you know how much work it takes to can stuff.
It's a lot of work.
And that was a lot of work that broke.
Yeah, that was a lot of work.
These are wick lanterns?
Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, wick lanterns.
So before you had lights, you had to have kerosene?
Kerosene.
So you put kerosene in here and a wick in there that went down to the oil or the kerosene, and then the kerosene will follow the wick up. It's a wide piece of cloth, basically.
I'm not sure how. This will rise up, and that's how you light them.
Oh, okay. So the glass light slides up there, and then you can light it?
Then you light it, yes.
That's cool. And I see, is that a coffee grinder back there?
Yes.
That's cool. So you have
the
coffee grounds in there, beans in there, and then you grind it and goes down here.
Like that. Yeah. See, cool. it's coming down. And then you open it up down there.
I see.
Yeah.
That is sweet. And an old radio?
Yes, old radio. Mm-hmm.
Which is the only entertainment you had back in the ancient days, right?
Yes.
Listen to the radio shows, and you didn't get to pick one. It was just whatever was on.
Yes. Pull toilet in here.
Pull?
Yeah, so, you pull the handle there.
Yep. So this is because when you have your toilets now, you have to have pumped water. So the water has to pump up. But this water comes in up above, and then it drops.
A water tank. You can see the water tank up there.
Oh yeah. So
there's
it comes
a water
from up
tank,
above there.
and you can see the line
pipe,
the pipe that comes in and comes down and fills that little tank in that wooden box.
So that's using gravity
Yes.
to fill that thing, and then she's got a weight on the door with
Yeah.
pulley system so that the door shuts by itself.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I could have put the toilet.
So then you pull the
handle.
chain,
Yes.
and that drops water down
Yeah.
in the toilet.
It's all winterized right now. So.
Yes. Yeah, you
And
don't want
those
water
weights,
doesn't do well in when it's frozen.
the weights are from an old bed stand.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does it just bang shut if you let it go, or it just slides shut?
slide-
The pulley system helps it to kind of shut slowly.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've done an awesome job with all this old stuff. It's really
Yeah.
neat.
And applewood, we barbecue here in the summertime.
Oh, with that applewood from trees?
Yeah, the applewood. Yeah, that's what this is applewood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is much more dense, and it has a certain.
Yeah, and it has gives
smell
a
and
good
flavor.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's good. But
And this was a milk house, or this
this
is
was the milk. This is the milk house,
where they kept the milk, or where they did the milking?
where they kept the milk.
Gotcha.
It's way insulated and nothing freezes in there.
Yeah, that's a really cool log building, because this is all, hand hewn,
Yeah.
meaning they had to take an axe and chip both sides of the log off to make it flat, and that's what this is. You can see the axe marks in the timbers. Very cool.
So this is the original building, and then we have another log building that was the granary, and
Oh,
it
okay.
used to sit down here, and we moved it up here, and it's a neat old log building.
This one up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
that
one up
that
here.
does look sweet.
This is the old granary. We added the porch and then the tractor shed to it.
Oh, added the lean-to part
the
on there.
lean-to, yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. We did the chinky.
You did the chinking to keep the moisture out and everything?
Yeah, to seal it up better.
Because it probably did it. You think it had chinking on it originally?
No, it never did.
It never did. It was just.
It was always like this. It
Okay.
was unchinked, and I put all the mesh wire in there, and then a guy came in and put the
Concrete in there.
the
Yeah.
concrete. I don't know, this is kind of a mess in here, but this is, it has those two beams and,
Oh yeah. Look at that. Whoops.
oh, that's okay.
Look at those two beams that run the length of it. Is that for storing stuff up there, you think, or
No, it was
or is that part of the
support.
structure?
That
yeah.
was the structure of the building.
Yep.
Everything's
Okay.
original except for the chinking.
Wow. That's
And,
cool.
Is that sign up there, that board?
Yeah.
It said Marge was the best cow ever had. And it says Steve Brewer.
Signed Steve Brewer.
And I watched her
Signed
die.
is, I want her die. And
Yeah.
Steve or signed is spelled wrong, but that's what they mean by that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, we found that in one of the old buildings.
Did
yeah.
you?
Mm-hmm.
They create these not just to hold it in. So this one sits over this one, and that holds this into place.
There you go.
Yeah, pretty cool.
This is a running iron. And we used to, I branded with that.
You branded with that.
Yeah.
What brand is it?
Well, it was a big brand. It was a slash up on the shoulder. And then,
So you just heat this up, and then you just
yeah, it was
make
in the
your,
fire.
Then you draw your brand.
Yeah, we drew it on, and then it was a F in the middle, and then a big slash over the hip. And that's
So
because
sometimes
it
they
was
have
range
brands,
cows.
right? Sometimes brands are actually pre-made like this. This is C.
Yeah,
But
That's
a
a-
running iron means that you heat it up and you actually draw it on there like you would with a marker. And
a mule shoe. That'd be a mule shoe.
And these were made when they, now you buy these shoes at like a farm and ranch store, but back then you had to make this. So this was just a flat bar that was straight, and then they would bend it in a fire. and make the shoe out of it. Cut a groove and then
Yeah.
holes for your nails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Meadow right here.
Okay.
We used to call it the Jello field because if you drove a tractor out on it,
I walked across it.
Oh.
walked across it, the whole ground would pump like that, you know, and
from the water underneath.
from the water underneath. So we knew there was this water coming up there. So I don't know, some years ago we developed, you know, put in some perforated pipe and developed the spring then. So
if you put perforated pipe, means just pipe with holes in it, and you
Yeah.
bury it, then it collects the water that's under the ground and it will run out like this.
right.
So it runs out here from a little tank. So this is the kind of stuff that ranchers do that wildlife like, because does this stay open all year?
All
Yes.
Because it comes from under the ground, it's going to stay at a little higher temperature, so it's harder to freeze. And you know, wildlife, unless you know, they have to eat snow. Well, they can eat snow, but they'd rather have a drink of water. So when you have something like this, you improve something and it benefits the wildlife. I think that's something that people really need to understand, is how much ranchers actually benefit the ecosystem.
Well, that's true. When we keep our land in production, we provide habitat for wildlife. We recharge the aquifer because in this area, anybody that's on a well is pumping it from underground. And so all that irrigation, all this, keeping this area green, recharges the aquifer and provides water for wells.
What he means by recharging is if he wasn't to use this irrigation, it would come right down a creek, or the water would either stay in the river over there. It wouldn't come down. It would come down one little spot. But when you use the water on top of the ground, like what you're doing, flood irrigation, then some of it sinks, a lot of it sinks down into the ground, which is then adding to the ground, what they call groundwater, which is the water that's underneath the surface in this area that the wells are drawing from. So if you didn't do that, the water just runs past.
Right.
I mean, even though you're not raising cattle here, you're raising hay, which then feeds somebody's cattle
Right.
and somebody's horses, and that in turn provides food for something, and that's where your food comes from. I mean, it's right here. It starts out here.
Came home last August one night and there was 85 head out here, cows and calves. So, you know, I think the pressure from the forest up north, people up in there pushes them down, and they like the private land because there's not as much pressure on them.
With people?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, Coloradans are really like the outdoors, and you can't get away from people anymore.
No. What
This
is
is
this? This is a tiny one here.
Yeah.
Look
That's
at that.
a mini.
Belongs to that girl that's
Girl.
here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a dink.
Yeah.
He likes to hang out with the big draft a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
where's
yeah?
the draft horse? Huh?
Oh, yeah. That's what is it about the little ones? They want to hang out with the biggest thing there is.
I guess.
The life that homesteaders lived was definitely not the easy road. It wasn't what we have with all our modern conveniences, vehicles, and electricity. But it was something that these people did to express their right to freedom. They felt, these super independent, strong-willed people came to the West looking for something, and they found it right here. So when you think about homesteading, you may not have the correct picture of this fantastic, easy life that's so simple and pure. It was more super hard work and determination and willpower that got them through. I want to thank Katie for this fantastic tour. Make sure you click up here to see me and her husband talk about the wolf situation in Colorado, because they were just reintroduced there, and how that's impacting them, how it will impact them, and what their future looks like. Until next time, I'm Trinity Vandenacre. God bless.